Okay, let's take a brief look at some possible plundered combinations you might see in a typical plunder chess game. Here we see a pawn wearing a bishop vest. Now for this to have happened, the pawn would have had to either capture directly the opponent's bishop or captured a piece that was wearing a bishop vest. But either way, this pawn has captured and plundered the bishop vest and can move like a bishop one time in the future. Here we see a rook wearing a knight vest and a bishop wearing a rook vest. People ask me, Jeff, can a king plunder a vest? And the answer is yes. To wear a vest, when a capture takes place, if the vest will provide a benefit, it is allowed. In this case, the king has captured the queen vest power. Here's a knight wearing a pawn vest. I actually like this combination personally because wherever that knight jumps on the board, it can move as if it were a pawn, which means it can attack the forward diagonal positions. It can also move forward one square, of course, because that's what a pawn does. This is an example of something you won't see in a plunder chess game. A piece can only wear one vest at a time. If you want to call this stacking, you'll never see stacking. Here's another example of something you won't see, a pawn wearing a pawn vest. The pawn vest does not give any benefit to a pawn, so it's not allowed. And a queen wearing a bishop vest, another example of what you won't see. The queen, of course, can already move diagonally, so you won't see that. This is really a trick question. What about a queen wearing a pawn vest? Well, actually, that is allowed because the benefit a pawn vest can give to a queen is the en passant capture, so that is allowed. Here's an example of one of the most powerful pieces you can see on the board, a queen wearing a knight vest. And right up there as well is a knight wearing a queen vest. You want to try and get these two pieces if you can. And last but not least, this is a pawn wearing a king vest. You will not see this in a standard plunder chess game because the game's over when a king is checkmated. But in the back of the rule booklet, there's a version where both players can start the game with two kings. You put the kings in the corners, and you're actually using less pieces. To capture a king vest, all a player has to do when they capture the opponent's first king, it's not checked or checkmated, it's just taken like any piece. You can get the king vest on the first capture. The second king is the king that you check, and then ultimately checkmate to win. So I'm just showing you a picture here of the king vest, and you'll have to check that out in the rule booklet for more details on that particular version. But this is just a quick overview of some of the different combinations you can see in a plunder chess game. Hope that's helpful, and stay tuned. Thank you.